This is the mama-san, who brings in 10 girls for the clients to select, and then 10 more. Most are village girls who know nothing about safe sex, nor do their clients, and this ignorance is feeding the widening AIDS epidemic.
The girl come from the countryside. They have no disease. But who gave the HIV to them? Yeah, the men, especially the rich men. They have money. They can call 10 girls together one time.
Many men refuse to wear condoms, and some force the girls to have unprotected sex.
If I meet those who don't want to wear a condom, I can say I won't do it.
Are there clients who force you?
Yes, like the ones who drink too much and hold your hands down. So even if you don't want to, you have to. When I was in school, my teacher asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up. I said I wanted to be a police officer, but now I'm doing something that could get me arrested. It's humiliating.
For all its visibility, the sexual revolution is a fragile one. While the new China supports it, the old China is afraid of the changes. Adultery is skyrocketing along with divorce. Kids are leaving home, and there's a growing generation gap.
My grandparents don't even like to see us hugging. They're so old-fashioned.
It's too much.
Inappropriate.
Too liberal.
Foreign countries don't mind sexual liberation. Even homosexuality is normal. But the Chinese people won't get used to this stuff.
This is a recent brothel bust where prostitutes are publicly shamed on the street. The government periodically lashes out like this to appease the older generation. They shut down brothels, discos, even art shows in a desperate attempt to straddle the growing sexual divide between generations.
So many people hate the sexual revolution. Every older couple, they have only one child. So if this child is sex freedom, go out. So who will take us? So take care of us. So people angry and people afraid.
So who will win? The old generation or Generation Sex? Much like the West, China's sexual revolution seems hard to stop now that it's out in the open. This is the 4th annual Shanghai Sexpo, an eye-popping look at just how far things have come from Mao to now. This is where the Chinese masses come to get their sex ed classes. 4 years ago, the government was so taken aback by the first sex fair, they closed it down and threatened to jail the organizers. But with the obvious need for more sexual education, the government has gradually backed off. This year's fair attracted 30,000 people, a wildly popular event that now takes place in several cities. And it's quickly democratizing sex. It may be impossible to chain this new sexual dragon now that it's on the loose. Many parents are beginning to accept the obvious.
Parents, I think, are confused for a while, but the parents are also being educated, and they themselves, as victims of all that, Puritanism, I think that has taught them something that I think a lot of them don't want their children to go through the same thing as they did. They don't want them to be warped.
New values are stalking the country, and women are on the march in costumes that are a long way from a Mao outfit. The sexual revolution is not just changing sex, it's changing the Chinese themselves. For centuries, this society has valued men more than women. But with the growing army of single men and the growing liberation of women, female power is rising. And many families are finally starting to value having girls. Where will it all lead? To a bold new world of sexuality, or another great leap backward?
I think once the genie is out of the box, it's very hard to put it back in, because the genie is a very naughty genie that, you know, a lot of people like, including some of the good old officials. They're enjoying it themselves. It's restless to live in today's China, but what fun! I mean, this is one of the funnest periods in China. For a long time, we haven't had so much fun.
Many Chinese say they can never go back.
We fear the Cultural Revolution. we really fear it. If the Cultural Revolution comes again, I will kill myself.
2 decades ago, the world believed that the Tiananmen Square protest might bring democracy to Mao's China. But it failed, and China took a step backward in time. Now, individual freedom is coming from somewhere far more intimate. The new revolution is coming from 1 billion bedrooms where tanks can never reach.
One little click of the mouse, and I'm in your door.
It's a game of cat and mouse, but the stakes could not be higher.
I like to look at pictures of my friends, or even better, meet them in the flesh.
Catching online pedophiles pushes modern policing to the brink.
There's kids that are growing up. We're seeing them age as they're being abused.
Hunting the predators. Doc Zone. Next time.
Hi, I'm Craig.
I'm Alan.
This year, Air Farce comes to you live every Friday.
Anything can happen.
Like what?
Like you could forget a line.
We're not live right now, are we?
Air Farce Live, only on Fridays, only on CBC. Saturday at 3 Eastern, the Habs battle the Sens. At 6:30 Eastern, it's the Scotiabank Hockey Tonight pregame show, followed by the Rangers and Leafs. Then Western rivals clash as Edmonton battles Calgary. CBC's Hockey Night in Canada, Saturday.
54 years of Grey Cup memories have been made on CBC. 54 years of championship triumphs, of heartbreaks, and of all-out excitement. Now, join us for the best one yet. The 95th Grey Cup Championship, exclusively on CBC. Live from Toronto, featuring a thunderous Rogers Grey Cup halftime performance with Lenny Kravitz. It's Canada's biggest party. CFL on CBC. 95th Grey Cup Championship, November 25th.
The National is next on CBC.